That is some real red hair. That's Caylee Hammack.
Hello.
You color that hair? Is that colored?
Oh, yeah, honey. It's
Oh, it
enhanced.
is? Oh, I wouldn't have brought it up. I thought it was. Oh, my bad.
Oh, I don't care at all. Anything that comes from the bottle or from God, I'm all right with it, as long as it's pretty.
Well, it looks great.
Thank you.
Well, that was a great one. Well, welcome to the show.
Yeah,
Glad you're
way
here.
to start it off.
Wow. Look at those hair extensions. Woo. Anyway, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, I just thought, with your heritage, that it would have been, Irish and what is it? Irish and Scottish. That isn't every Irish person redhead?
No.
Well, I like to believe it. I do fit in really well when I'm touring in Scotland and Ireland. I'm one of them until I open my mouth and they're like, "Where are you from?"
Wait a minute. Wait. So
you talk funny.
you actually have seen? I've been that way, and I've never seen redhead people at all.
Oh, really?
Really? It's so everybody's got dark hair, and I'm like, this
In
is
Ireland?
not as Scotland especially. But I'm like, this is not as advertised. I want the redheads.
This is not like Outlander.
That's right. This isn't like Netflix at all.
Oh, I love it over there. I actually just went to Scotland end of last year, and I went and I hiked about 47 miles solo on Isle of Skye after the tour.
Oh, wow.
I have never felt better until I flew to Canada for a show, and I realized I had a Scottish tick on my leg. And so if there's any tick infestation that happens in Canada for some random reason, I am so sorry. I did not mean to smuggle an insect across the ocean.
That's how that stuff happens.
Patient zero. That's you.
Yeah, seriously.
You brought it over. So tell us about this, the Hill. What's going on with this song?
Well, a lot of it actually was inspired by some of my traveling in Scotland and Ireland. But it was one of these days I sat down with a good friend of mine, Tennille Towns, and another friend of mine, Logan Wall. And we started talking about, for me, as a 30-year-old, my 20s has been kind of a self-discovery of finding myself and trying to find love along the way. Mm-hmm. I would love to have a partner to go through this life. And anyways.
Get a dog.
Well, I already have her, but the only thing is she doesn't, talk back very much. And I want someone to tell me they love me.
Aww.
But anyways, the thing is, through that entire journey, I'm so grateful as a songwriter how many bad relationships I've had because I've got to write great songs I've read.
That's right. Yeah.
Thank you, Lord. But the thing is about it is I feel like there's a lot of times where there is a situation or an argument that comes up, and it's always the straw that breaks the camel's back. It may come down to who's washing the dishes that night, but it's never really about who's washing the dishes. It's all the little things. Uh-huh. And I feel like sometimes there are wars you go through where you realize, this may be the last battle that we fight with one another, and I really don't care enough about this argument to lose you. So if this is the hill that we're dying on, it doesn't matter. Why are we going to waste this time? And it's I feel like this song is kind of a white flag waving with a broken arm.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That sounds weird, but
no, that was really.
Maybe I shouldn't have said it that way.
Very poetic.
Wow. Wow.
All right,
I feel like Shrek when I'm around you. I feel so just like, well, I like your hair is red.
I love your swamp. That's a nice boulder. I like that boulder.
Okay, I don't even know what that means. That boulder? What?
Oh wait. Okay, we need to revisit Shrek.
All right, well, hold on.
I haven't seen Shrek. I can't remember. Oh, the bolt from the. Okay, it's been a while.
I gotta say that soundtrack.
Oh, it's good.
That soundtrack was so freaking good.
Both, actually, Shrek 2 as well.
I'll be honest. I listened to that soundtrack. Soundtrack. I listened to that soundtrack on the way while I'm dressed in a gorilla suit, going to Universal to scare Mike Dungan, the president, because he had offered a deal and I hadn't said yes. My manager was like, if they ever offer in the thing, you don't say yes. We got to do a bidding war. We need everybody to want you so we can fight for better rates or whatever. Yeah. So when he offered, I just said, I can't cuss on here, but I said, are you crapping me? Uh-huh. And didn't answer. Well, a few weeks later, I finally found someone that has a gorilla suit. And I go in to scare Mike Dungan, but on the way driving on Broadway, I had a gorilla suit on with the windows down, and I was listening to Funky Town as loud as I could. And I just remember this moment of watching my little gorilla finger tapping the beat on the top of the steering wheel as Tootsies and everything is in front of me, and I was like, I get to live this life. It is a hard life, but someone has to live it, and I guess I'll do it.
Can you imagine someone who's like, "Wait, this is the first time we've ever been to Nashville, and is that a gorilla?" Great timing, too. Look at that gorilla go. Maybe we should play this.
Yes.
It is The Hill. Caylee Hammack, our in-studio guest. We'll talk more with Caylee coming up. The Hill. It's Caylee Hammack. I love your style of singing. I love your style of stringing words together. I do. I'm just being serious.
We were talking off the air about how poetic you are. You were talking about waving the white flag with the broken arm. You said something else in the middle of that, too. And then even your description of being the gorilla girl driving down the road, tapping your finger on the steering wheel. You're very good with words.
Would you ever write a book, like a children's book or just a regular book or a novel?
Well, I'll be honest. In 2017, I had a house fire, and I pretty much took that renter's insurance, and instead of buying a new sewing machine, I bought a typewriter from the 60s. And I bought a writing desk. That was my next purchase. And I made a deal that I would never have anything on that writing desk except my typewriter. And my therapy, because therapy is expensive and I didn't have money, so I would just sit and write every single day. And I wrote through Radio Tour. I wrote through signing my deal. I wrote through the house fire, and I've written through every single tour I've ever had. And I mean, I have a fire safe full of papers from those times. And at some point, I would love to release it, because I think that people think when you have a record deal that all of a sudden you're happy and you have every single dream in the world. And for me, it was the first time I had something that I could really lose, other than my loved ones. I realized this is the first time I had a consistent comma in my bank account. I didn't know commas could be in bank accounts. And I realized...
Dude, that's a song. That's a song.
But yeah, it was just a situation where I take this very seriously, and it was like, I have one shot. And I just remember how much I worried about being worthy of that place that I didn't actually truly enjoy it. I was so worried about being loved and accepted so I could do this for the rest of my life. And at some point, I've told my friends, I was like, one day I'll release it maybe if it could help somebody else. But I need success first. So then it's like a success story versus just, wow, this girl is really depressed in this time,
Stop it.
So I'm going to hopefully, have a little bit of a better trajectory before I release it so that I can say there's a silver lining to every thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Well, there is. You're here. Look at, you're just talking about
here.
You're just talking about being in the gorilla suit. I mean, you are literally living the life.
And you know what? I'm here. Like in this room right now. I mean, I don't know if I've told y'all, but I've listened to y'all for so long. My mom and daddy listen to you all the time.
But don't do the whole when I was a little girl thing.
Oh yeah, I was like -2, I think, when y'all first started.
That's right.
No, but seriously, like being back in Georgia, I listened to you all the time. So it was really cool the first time that I saw on my press, schedule that y'all's names were on here, and I was like for real?
Oh.
So anyways, I'm big fans, y'all. I'm big fans.
You're the best. Hey, I want to talk about songwriting. A lot of people are drawn into wanting to be a singer or a songwriter or a singer-songwriter. But can we talk a little bit about songwriting and how important it is for country music? Caylee Hammack is with us. We'll come back and talk more with her on the way. Hang on. Caylee Hammack joining us in the studio. You can follow her on all the socials, also CayleeHammack.com.
And check out The Hill, the new song.
So we're talking about, as a singer-songwriter, songwriting is I don't know how you guys do it, where you can make a story and it makes sense and it's clever, and at the end of it you're crying or you're rejoicing or whatever.
Writing those 3-minute movies.
It's a fascinating talent. Is it learned, or is it just kind of you either can or you can't?
Good question. I think that there's something that some folks are born with, and I think what that is a desperate need to get it out. Eric Church, the other night I watched him at Chiefs. He's doing a residency, and he was just talking about, one of the things he said, every single bad situation, I revert to what I've always done, and that is write about it. And I teach this thing back in Georgia, this Music Education Matters Summit with the University of Georgia. And I get to sit down with 30, 40 kids and talk about songwriting. And the most beautiful thing about it is in that room, there may be a couple kids that will go into music, that may move to Nashville or New York and really pursue this. But the rest of those kids, they need an outlet. They're here at a camp for a week to try to learn something that may make their lives better. And I always encourage people that if you want to write a song, just write it. No one has to hear it. No one has to judge it. But I think that a lot of us, when it comes to writing, we just had to get it out before it killed us. And I think a lot of those heartbreak songs come from that. And there's learned things, music theory, rhyming structure, you know. But I think a lot of that just comes from being able to access yourself in some of those vulnerable, harder moments. And when you share that, the songs that were the hardest and the most heartbreaking songs to write have been the ones that I think have helped people the most. And that makes every heartbreak worth it.
Does someone just walk around with you and just write down everything you say and then just have a guitar and then sing it? Because you speak in such a prose. It's like this thing. I have to. Sometimes you have to write it and get it out of you before it kills you. That's a song. That you could do a whole song just on a thing that you just threw out there.
Okay, well, you want to write, are you free 10 a.m. tomorrow?
No, I am not. I am not. It'll come, mine will be like old McDonald-y kind of stuff.
Baby Shark.
Yeah. But there is a place for those kind of
And
things.
they're catchy and they make a lot of money.
Nursery rhymes and pop music. Look at TikTok. I mean, they have made some money off of these pop versions of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And I'm like, dang it, I should have thought of that.
Which, by the way, that blew me away that is the same song as... is it Mary?
So, it's
Twinkle, Twinkle, Little
Star is the same as
ABCD.
Row, Row, Row Your Boat.
Yeah,
Isn't
ABCD.
it ABCD? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's it. The ABCD.
Blew my mind the first time I found
You
that
know,
out.
the other day I said something and I realized it very much aged me. And I was like talking about phonics and I was like, do y'all remember like beating heart, B in school? And no one knew it. And I was like, is it just like a 90s, early 2000s kid?
I guess so.
Anyways, we learned phonics back in the day. We learned how to write cursive.
You remember Hooked on
The
Phonics?
OGs. Yeah.
1-800-ABCD-EFG.
My poor son, his class was the class that they first did not teach cursive to.
That is so weird.
He can't sign his name. He has no signature. So he writes his signature in just regular print. I'm like, dude, we have to work on this. Just a little flourish at least. Weird.
Schaefer says country music is basically nursery rhymes and poems. And he's right. You're right. It is. It really is. You can
With
find
dirt on them.
Yeah, that's right. With a little dirt and a truck and a dog or beer or whatever.
If you put truck, beer, dog in there, you might just get it on radio.
CayleeHammack.com. You can find her there. And also check out the Hill. It's the latest. You can check that out as well on all social medias too. Good to see you again. Thank you.
Oh, thank y'all. I appreciate you.
And next time you come in, let's be blonde. Can you color that red hair blonde? And...
It's hard to bleach it. I'd
You
rather
first.
go black.
You first,
really?
D.
Okay.
I have many wigs, actually. What I do when I was on the road with Chris Stapleton, especially, I have a short black wig, and I would take all my makeup off after the show and then go into the pit and just enjoy the show. No one knew. If you wear the eye makeup sometimes, the crazy stuff I do, people will put it together when they look at your face. But I'll just put sweatpants on and a wig and just go out in the crowd and enjoy it. And I just love it. I still, as the opening act, most times, you always get to enjoy the show with the listeners. Because then my job's
like
done
Buddy.
and I'm like, I'm getting a drink and I'm putting my wig on and I'm going out to the
taking
pit.
off my makeup. Gonna have fun with this guy I don't even know. This guy and this girl that we're gonna have fun. Here we go. It's a show.
And the coolest thing is when there's people that were watching you on stage and then you're standing shoulder to shoulder with and now you're just
And
partying
they don't
with them.
know.
Shotgun and beer after beer, you know.
Who's this
Just
goth
crazy
girl
stuff.
next to me? Excuse me, move.
Caylee Hammack, everyone. Thank you, Caylee.
Thank you.
Well, because over the years, teenage kids have told you to like and subscribe, we don't have to say that anymore.
You know what to do.